What do you guys, good people? Hope you guys are good. Hope you guys are well rested. So today I just want us to go through a back testing session. Hope I will be te back testing one of these swing strategy I use to trade Nasdaq. One thing about this strategy that I like, it's one of my most safest strategy to go back to. Uh, if I want to really make a comeback after maybe let's say a drawdown week or a drawdown month, I always revert to this strategy because it's one of the safest. I mean, you get a decent amount of setups a week or a month with this, and if you're consistent with it, I mean, you could use it alone. You don't need to. Just that sometimes I have other methods I use to kind of like look at the charts as well, but this is one of the safest ones and simple as well, very mechanical, right? So, first of all, I'm going to start with the time frame you need to use, time frames you need to use. You need to use your daily, your 4 hour, your 50 minute, and your 1 minute, right? So, if you have a notepad with you, just write those time frames that you need to look at. Your daily chart, that's where you'll be gauging at where is the market going. Basically, we'll be looking for daily bias. Remember, before you can decide which trade to take, whether you're buying or selling, you need to decide which curve of the market are we in, right? So first of all, you need to understand what are we gunning for. So on the daily, that's what you look at your bias, which I'm gonna go through it with you on how to look at it. 4 hour, we'll be looking at POIs, right? The point of entry zones that we're looking to enter. And then our entries will be on a 15 minute. We actually don't need a 1 minute. Let me just remove it. Entries will be on the 15 minute, right? So without wasting further time, let's start. So I'll be trading this strategy on the Nasdaq, and this strategy is very good, especially if you're trading Nasdaq on prop firm. This is very good. It's a nice trading strategy. So on the daily, remember, I want to mark my swing highs and swing lows, right? That's where most of the liquidity lies, especially in the range. So I have my highest point there and my lowest point here, right? And we're in the middle of the range. So both these zones for me are liquidity, right? So both these zones for me are liquidity. So this is what where most entries were placed. So that's liquidity there. I'm gonna break it down. And then also here, it's liquidity. So the market is always gunning for inefficiencies and liquidity, guys. So now on my daily, I see that we kind of bearish because remember this is a daily chart. So I'm seeing some bearish momentum after creating the swing high point here. And for me, that's signaling that we might be gunning for this liquidity or just retracing so that we can gun for that liquidity. But I don't know. This is just to gauge bias for now, but I see downward momentum and we might be gunning for that liquidity. But my 4 hour price action will tell me, right? So I get to my 4 hour. In my 4 hour, I have this range, bullish range, this range. So I have this range over here. Something equal to what? Hmm, So we have this range over here. Why do I say it's a range? A range is formed based off a price action structure or swing structure. Especially when price breaks, they like if we create so let me just break it down to you simply. How do you determine a range? Sorry. So if price is moving, creating higher highs and upper highs, every time it breaks structure and creates a new point, that high point and its low point are your range. That's your working office, right? And if it continues to break and create a new break of structure and a new high, the current low and the current high is going to be your new range where you'll be looking to say the market is buying just as long as it's in this range unless it breaks and then create a change of character. And then you have a new range, which is this high and the new low of that change of character, meaning as long as we don't break that range, we still continue to the downside. Right? So that's how I'd like look at it. How do I now? Yeah. Now I've broke it down chiefly. So this is my range. So I guess now you understand why I'm saying this is my range, right? On the 4 hour, this is my range. This is what I'll be looking for. So we're still in a buying structure unless we come below this zone, and then we'll be going for that liquidity. If we break below the zone, we'll be targeting this daily liquidity. But for now, this is considered the retracement. This is fractal structure, and we might be gunning for that zone. So for me, my bias is still bullish up until we break the zone. Then I'll say we're still biased, right? Because we're still on our way to get those confirmations. So um, I'm gonna mark my pure eyes. We have a 4 hour fair value gap, and we have a 4 hour order block as well. So we're in a 4 hour order block. So we are bullish in the zone up until we cross that zone. And now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go to my 15 minute. 15 minute, it's simple price action, guys. I'm waiting for a change of character to the upside because we creating lower lows, lower highs going down. I'm waiting for structures to break and then I'm looking to buy. Right, as soon as we break a structure to the upside, because that's what we're doing now. Um, but also I must get confirmations. As long as I don't get it, it means the market might still want to push down, and I must get it with the displacement. So seeing that I haven't gotten any, I just got one. This zone also the price moved further away from it. So I'm gonna look at into buying this here. In fact, away price kind is 250 points. Yeah, 500 points of simple one to two. I'm gonna order a and take profit with it on this trade. Um, I'm gonna look for another setup. So I'm gonna clear and then go to the following day. Only trade one setup a day. Sometimes this setup, guys, takes time to form. Like you might find some other days, um, you hold a setup a trade for more than 2 days, and it's worth it though. Trust me, it's one thing I can tell you, it's worth it. So back to still the same setting on our daily chart. I'm gonna mark my recent swing high points. That's where liquidity lies. And then on the 4, I'm just gauging in terms of like which liquidity are we gunning for. And what I'm seeing now is there was a fair value gap here, and we are violating bearish fair value gaps, and we're just creating bullish fair value gaps. You see, if you see there's a fair value gap here, which for me is a sign that we are in a bullish momentum, meaning we are targeting this um high, daily swing high. So that's our liquidity drop point unless otherwise, right? Not for minding that, okay, I don't want to do this to confuse. No, it's fine. I'll make it a lesson for another day. And also how to look at it. So for now, let's stick to that. And what I want to see is price coming back into this 4 hour fair value gap and giving me signs that it's wanting to push back up, which we are now coming into it. I'm not getting signs that you want to push back up. So as soon as I see that I'm not getting signs that I want to push back up, I'm assuming that we might be targeting this downwards fair value gap. But I'm gonna want to check on my price action on the 4 hour if it corroborates my story. So as we can see, we respected this bearish fair value gap here, right? And we started disrespecting these bullish ones. And for me, it's signaling bearish momentum. That's why I'm saying don't be fixated on bias. Be ready to do what the market tells you. So if we create a fair value gap here, I want to look into selling inside this fair value gap to target this low here if we do get a setup and a proper change of character. So, oh, I don't know. It's not clean. I would have wanted to see a clean break here, and then I would have entered this because it looks promising. But You see, this is what we call a B plus setup, not an A plus. I would short here, but let me see if the RR would allow me. Because also you must check if the RR allows if I'd want to target. Okay, RR might allow me to take this trade. So I'm just gonna take it either way. This is where you gauge. I'm gonna take it either way, but as a sell stop or take profit hit, nice one. And then our target was this one here, and we cleaned it up nicely. All right, so go to next day open. Uh, Same thing, guys. You just do the simple thing every day. My next day open is actually at 8 p.m. EST time. In South African time, it's like 2 p.m. every day at 2 p.m. Just come here in the charts. Go to my day. What is the daily chart doing? Which liquidity is there? So as you can see here, we've taken out these lows here, right? We've taken out these lows here. They're out. Right? The only recent one I see is this higher and that low there. And these are my liquidity points. That's all you do on a daily chart. You mark your liquidity point. So this is the recent high and this is the recent low. No, and this is the recent low. And the 4 hour must just tell you price action. And it doesn't need to explain it, as we can see now. The other four is bearish. We're respecting bearish fair value gaps, right? As you can see here. So I'm looking to look for dips, sells, and which means which liquidity are we targeting? This one here. You guys are right. This one here. So and then now I'm looking to position myself into those setups. Okay, we're moving further away from the setup, so I'm gonna look for a favorite get that can still give me a setup. If not, I might consider using these here, order blocks. Remember PDRAs? So I'm just gonna see what happens during the 15 minutes inside this order block here. If we do get like change of character to the downside, momentum and stuff like that. Okay, we don't get anything here, so no setup in this instance. Because we didn't see February gaps in that setup as well. Mm, just a bit connecting my Wi-Fi. Oh, you just cancel this one and open a new one. Sorry guys, I just got disturbed there for a bit. Internet was lagging on my side, but we back online. I was just reading some messages I was getting, but let me just check. Are we still recording here? Yeah, we're still recording. Good. Um, Sorry for the silence, but yeah, back at it, guys. As I was saying, um, as you can see, the order flow is bearish. So I'm looking for sells in this instance, right? But I'm noting something. I just want to see how we behave in this 50 gap here. Because if I remove these blocks on the 4 hour, we're changing price action character. If you look here, we're breaking this structure and we're having favorably gaps, right? Favorably gaps that are being respected. Order flow might be changing to bear to bullish, right? So I want to see on this last favorably gap, how do we behave? Do we respect it? If we don't respect it, I'm going to consider us kind of looking bullish, right? So let's just tag it out a bit and see what we seem like we might be respecting. So I'm going to shift to my smaller time frame to see if we do something about it. We have bearish order flow. Okay, let's see. Um, I'm gonna try to short this, but it's not a clean setup for me. So just gonna make it swiftly as possible. So I'm gonna just put my stop loss here, 130, 260. 1 is to choose 260, and then I'm just gonna place the order. So it's giving me unsure vibes. Yeah, I wasn't sure about this, right? So I didn't wanna call it for too long, but nevertheless, it's part of trading. These things happen, guys. These things happen. And like I said, we were looking at bullish momentum. I don't know why I took that sell. So you see, sometimes it's a matter of you over analyzing things. Because look at this zone, this 30 gap I drew first here. I kind of got the sense or the feeling that you might be looking bullish. And if I did respect that, in a proper world, I'll be entering somewhere here too far. So to adjust for my RR, I'll just be entering here and then targeting those highs. They right. And I think it might not be too late to enter this. Let me see. Hmm. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and order and see if it takes it in. Take an order. Just watch it, see if it tugs me in the trade. Okay, I don't think it's gonna take me in, so I'm just gonna go ahead and cancel the order because it's the following day now on the chart. But I'm gonna keep the thing here to check what happens. You just go to next day open. Okay, so next day open it doesn't have, so I'm gonna look for a new setup, which is gonna be the same way. The daily, recent high, recent low. So now system is out. We have a high, we have a low, right? 4 hour. Although we're resting bullish order flow. So I'm looking for reactions inside this favorite gap here, this inefficiency here, us to continue. And in this case, we did respect this inefficiency and throughout the night. But let's see if we dip further inside to get proper setups. Okay, here's the following day. So in that zone, sometimes the price can come respect the zone, but if it doesn't give you a perfect entry, just let it respect it and be glad you know what it's doing. Ooh, look, see what I'm talking about? I missed this trade, but it's not that I missed it. It didn't give me an inch because look at how it displayed. So if it does come back, I'm just gonna target 150, and then I'm just gonna 300 points. That's the one is to two. So it needs to come back for me. And I'll order here. Seems like it took us out, huh? Did it take us out? It did. Oof. See, this is another thing that I don't like. Took us up. Then it might go my direction. So no, I don't think so. I think it was like, we'll see. I just compare everything there. Okay, nah, it still wouldn't have triggered me in. But I see it's respecting the zone. Sometimes these things happen, guys. These things happen. But now, mm, I low-key still believe we can still push so that first. I'm not gonna trade this day because we're still in yesterday's. I'm gonna just skip to see what happens. Sometimes you just have to, if you're not sure, just like you see what happened. I didn't trade this day because I still wasn't sure in terms of direction what's happening because we have contradicting bearish fair value gap. We respected it, a big one, and then we have bullish fair value gap. So this was a big retracement. All right. So easier I can do this. Meaning we're targeting this low here. And then I'll be looking for sells and zones. Okay, so that might be respecting that side. Not clean price action for an entry. So I wouldn't trade this. Either way, gold needs to open. Price action is still not clean. I don't like catching out. I like catching entries in the zone. So we still might be dipping, but if price action is not clean for me, because you see, we are dipping, but I just need that clean price action to take the trade. So, see, inside that, we'll see how it would behave inside it. And like I said, sometimes it takes days for it to come into your specific zones and stuff like that. Mm, price action is still not clean, and I want price to kind of recalibrate and balance. This is when I just like don't trade those days when I see like sometimes I can tell what it's gonna do. I can tell which liquidity you're getting for, but if I don't see that clean price action, I just watch it. Because I know I see what we creating momentum to get to this liquidity here. This one down here. But now I'm not getting clean setup. You see even here we have a mini consolidation and I don't like that. Okay, might have a feel on something, right? We disrespected this and respected that. So we might respect this bearish heavy gap here. So I might wait for price to dip inside it and then really touch it. Maybe not. Let me see what's price clean when we got there. Mm, bit clean, touched it, broke. Let me see if I can get a shot here. If it does come back into the zone. There, 1 point short top. No, I didn't get tech, but I would have traded this part here because clean break and then come to this thing. But if it was real markets, I would have sported it. It's just that here I'm fast forwarding too quick to can like sport it. But in real market conditions, I would have sported it and entered this trade as well. Hence, I did put the target down there. All right. But otherwise we know what liquidity we're targeting. I can still look for re-entries. What time is it? in these zones. So there's this Beverly gap here, there's this Beverly gap here, there's that Beverly gap here. So in these three zones, I know I might get my entry to the zone unless violated otherwise. Um I'm just waiting for where price is gonna start respecting. See now, we broke structure to the downside, but it's not with displacement and only February gap is here. We are gonna be dipping, but still price is not clean for me to enter that trade, man. I want a clean setup. So there you go. See, this is the reason I don't like dirty setups. I prefer clean setup because you see, it does something like this. Okay, push back up. We're still in with my 4 hour. Still in a bearish Beverly gap. What are we gonna do here? Let's just watch and see. Okay, I think we might have a clean break off. Let me just do this. Short this from here. I'm just gonna make it 250. See if we can get a 500 point trade. Yeah, hold on. Mm, fine. So in this instances whereby you see I'm meeting like resistance like this, it's either two options. I let it go hit stop loss or I start taking partial profits if I feel like something is off, just like this trade. But sometimes I'll just hold it out. So this one I'm just gonna drag it out and see what happens because I want to get that perfect RR. See, finish the stumbling block also there. Take profit was hit. And then this trade probably like took like 2 days, I think. It was from Thursday, it was until Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It was held for 3 days, as you can see. But like I told you, this is the safest strategy. And look, when we open on a Monday, which liquidity we grabbed, the one we've been targeting all along, right? So now, off to the following open. So you know what I'm gonna do, guys? I'm not gonna make this video long. I don't want to bore you with details. I'm gonna leave my contact details below so that you guys can DM me for a full clip, which I can like send full back testing clip. Maybe I'll do go run over 250 to 200. That's normally what I do, 200 to 250 trades with this strategy and check the overall win rate and run a Monte Carlo simulation as well based on your strategy or your prop firm rules. It's very good on prop firms as well. So one last setup. So now we have multiple liquidity points. We have this high here. This is, oh no, this is our daily. Okay. This is our 4 hour on the daily. Yes, that's a high. And then we have this low. So these are the liquidity points we'll be looking for. And then now order flow is bearish on the 4 hour. And I see an inefficiency, a gap we open in. So we might want to fill this gap and just respect it or just run through it. But we don't know. We shall see. I'm gonna go to my full 15 minute and see if we get an entry in the zone of a bearish setup. So we filled the gap, but there's no signs of wanting to come back because pressure is shooting upwards. So I'm just gonna see the order fill of the order flow. So we violated this gap, which makes me think if we violate this fair value gap, yeah, we might be gunning for this liquidity here, of which we have violated. So we are pushing upwards. So I'm not gonna trade this day. I'm just gonna let it do its thing because it's scanning for this liquidity here. Um, this is the following day, right? Okay, it didn't really take off, but as you can see, we were seeing what was happening there. Um, Price action wise, so there. Let me just start off, which was the following day. This we took out this low. We have this high and that high. So it might be gunning for that high there, but we have this. Now, what does price action tell us on a 4 hour? At this point, price action is not clear to me, so I'm just gonna wait till I get proper price action. So I can't tell which liquidity we're going for. Okay, we're going for this one. But now that we've taken this one, I still want to watch what happens with price. So let's go to the following day. Mm, Only liquidity that's not taken is this one here, and we're pushing downward. So I'm thinking we might be gunning for this liquidity right here. So price action is bearish. So structure is very beautiful here. I have my favorite gaps here. One of these zones I'll be looking to take my sell entry. They were just created fairly gap zones, and which I like because it means by direction wise biases thing. So 15 minutes, let's check what we're doing. One of these zones must give an entry format. Ooh, this is one beautiful entry format. Does the R allow it? Short, and I'll short here. Let's just say 200, and I just need to get 400 point out of it. See if it comes back to take me back in. Comes back to take me back in, and we're moving in profits, and we are in profits. Ooh, did you see what it did there? It came close to take profit. I mean, this is where you make a choice as a trader. It's playing around, it's rejecting this one. Do I close what I have or hold? And this instance, because now I'm seeing this change of character, I would have literally, if I saw the change, just that you saw it's moving too quick. The moment it violated here with 50 because I would have secured what I had. But let's see if it does come back to my zone. But otherwise, that's what I would have done, like secured what I had already, because those revenue gaps down there, um, they don't impress me. It's a sign I'm just gonna risk half of what I have so that even if it takes me out, yeah, you see. But otherwise, on this trade, um, I would have closed in real life conditions. I think I can't make it go slow as the live market executions, or else I would have like took long on this video. But I would have secured somewhere here. I would have secured partials because sometimes you can tell when holding too long is a problem because initially I need to hold till the highs, but sometimes I stretch it out for my RR, right? So in this case, that's one of those. I'm actually holding a setup on the live charts with this right now. I'm gonna send you guys um the result of this trade. See, initially, even yesterday with the setups, target was the highest, but I wanted to stretch it for my RR. So I'm just RS 250 here. So for that, so you see, I did come in this point because normally the market tends to reverse when it reaches its range peak, right? But sometimes it does continue throughout. So in most cases, I've seen it continue throughout. So this is the current trade I'm holding, and I'm gonna send a screenshot to the group as well. But yeah, nevertheless, this is the backtesting session of the strategy, guys. If you want me to break it down to you and fully show you how the full data of this backtesting clip, by all means, um, contact me. But let me just make one last setup, see if I can leave with a banger. Because this is one really powerful strategy, guys. Especially if you are a patient person. Mm. So this is the daily chart. Recent high, recent low. We have a daily favorability gap, which if we violate, it means we're going for that liquidity up here. If if we don't violate and we respect it, it means we'll be targeting this liquidity here, right? So we're just marking liquidity points in the daily. 4 hour will tell us the structure. So we're in, and there's multiple 4 hour favorability gaps as well in this um thing right here. But it's a matter of watching what happens now. Okay, so we're respecting the daily favorability gap. So I'm gonna mark my 4 hour favorability gap now. So when price comes into this, I'll go to my 15 minute to look for an entry. In the 15 minute now, will we find an entry or will it violate it? If we don't find an entry, we are gone on the setup. And the following day, so we're just waiting on the following day. And mind you, we're respecting a fall of bullish favorability gap also. So that's why I'm very skeptical now. Because here we respected this zone here, but we're still not violating the daily one. So it's just a matter of waiting and see. Okay, we violated this and we targeted that liquid. Sometimes it's good not trading, guys, just to confirm. So I'll just go to next day open and see one last setup, then I'm done closing up. Okay, price action is very clean, but let's start step by step. Daily. mm, There's a high, taking out this high, there's these highs as well, and then there's this low. These are the liquidity points. And then 4 hour, we are bullish. Price action is bullish. So I'm looking for buys. This is the clean type of price action I always like. Looking for buys here. As soon as we're in the zone and we're in the zone, what do we do? We're still bearish in the zone, but I want to get a change of character. Beautiful one. Then I know I can get like a clean setup. Seems like we have news. CCPC. What's that? Some setup. Maybe after the news, we'll get bullish moves. Okay, clean setup. I'm gonna take my chances with longs here. Stop loss just here. Make up 100 points. Can I get that? Let me check first. Then there's another second one. Yeah, I think I can get that. See if I can stretch it that far. No, 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 no. Why did I press that? Now we're moving on a different platform. Technology, right? I'm just gonna wait for my thing to load, chart to load up quickly again. It's just gonna resume when we left off. So don't stress about it. Don't stress about it. Sorry about that technical glitch. Mm, I don't know why my Wi-Fi is lagging today. Should be. Just a bit, just a little bit, guys. Okay, there we go. Where were we? I was stretching the points to 400 points. So that can get me some 400 points. Um, Gonna go ahead and place the order. Mm, it's not coming back to trigger me in. That's what I hate most of the time when the price doesn't come back to trigger you in. I think I'm still gonna wait for it to come back and trigger me in. Ooh, this was weekend close. Let me see. Because every time there's gaps on us, that weekend close. The weekend close, I would have not entered this trade. So after this day, I wouldn't have traded this setup. But a day, let's see what will happen. Okay, pushed up nicely as well. But this is clean because I would have gotten it on Monday, I think somehow, because we're still in the zone. I would have reanalyzed and then probably entered on Monday, but probably caught it maybe a bit lower there, stuff like that. But as you can see, we pushed up to target that zones there. So this is a very powerful strategy, guys. Very powerful, very, very, very powerful. High win rate as well. But nevertheless, guys, this was a nice backtesting session. I'm gonna do more of these and then we'll catch up soon. Cheers.